Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kazuri Alameen, and once again, I have been allowed to wake up breathing. I am so grateful that my name is once again is not in the obituary section today. My nugget of wisdom for you this morning is this powerful word called trauma. Trauma is a very, very powerful dynamic. Some people know what it means. Some people don't know what it means. Some people think they know what it means. Some people don't want to know what it means. But trauma is real. Definition for trauma is deeply distressing. Let me say this again. One of the definitions for trauma, I should say, is a deeply distressing or overwhelming experience that shatters your sense of safety, leaving you feeling helpless. Let me state this again. Trauma, a deeply distressing or overwhelming experience that shatters your sense of safety, leaving you feeling helpless. Another definition is emotional response to a terrible event. Emotional response to a terrible event. And when I mention that deeply distressing, we all got a different deep. So that's very, very real. We all have a different deep. A deeply distressing or overwhelming experience that shatters your sense of safety, leaving you feeling helpless. And before I take the sheet off this thing right now, I want to let you know I've been in the mental health service this is my 46th consecutive year. 46 consecutive year before podcasters, before these so-called gurus, before these so-called influencers and all these other pretty words we have today. I'm not anti that by no means, but a lot of people got platforms and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm not designed that way. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I work with people in this 46 years who have dealt with, are dealing with right now as I speak, trauma in their lives. From children, adolescents, and adults. I know I've seen the evidence of a deeply distressing and overwhelming experience that shatters your sense of safety and leaves you feeling helpless. I've seen the evidence of emotional response to a terrible event in these 46 years in a mental health clinical setting. I work with people, not something that I pulled up on Google. I work with people who've been through tremendous trauma, deeply distressing experiences. So this is not a joke. This is not a joke, ladies and gentlemen. To laugh at somebody else's trauma is very diabolical as far as I'm concerned, and I got the evidence to back it up. Trauma comes in many different ways. An emotional response to a terrible event. I've worked with people who've been sexually abused, physically, emotionally abused, chemically dependent on alcohol and drugs. People who've been in deep sets of depression, deep places of depression. People who have been abandoned and neglected. Terrible events that transpire in one's life. You don't know what a person's been through. You don't know what a person is going through. Family members being killed. Family members being raped. Family members being burned. Mothers and fathers just dropping dead. It's all kind of things I've seen in these 46 years. I don't need nobody to co-sign for me because I've been in the experience. It's not what I heard. I've worked with people and I'm still working with people who are dealing with trauma. The death of a loved one. The death of loved 1, 2, 3, and 4 people at a time. People who are extremely sad based on something happened in their childhood and the same thing happens again in their adulthood. An emotional response to a terrible event. I don't see nothing funny about trauma. I don't see nothing funny about rape. I don't see nothing funny about that. There is nothing funny about that. And when you're working with real people, I'm not here for clickbait. I'm not here for likes. Experience is anything that you go through, anything that goes through you is experience. I got the experience, 46 years to the table working with real human beings who have dealt with and who are still dealing with trauma today. A deeply distressing or overwhelming experience that shatters your sense of safety. leaving you feeling helpless. Can you imagine when you don't feel safe no more based on what you've been through and based on what's been through you? That's a very fragile place to be. Very fragile place to be, ladies and gentlemen. And I think there are some great things, example with social media, but also I think there's some things that's very, very diabolical and superficial. We all have to make decisions of how we're going to allow ourselves to live. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming social media. People can get on here and just talk a bunch of foolishness, BS, entertainment, gossip. But Mr. Alameen is not built that way. And I understand that. I understand my calling. I help people every day. Every day. Because birth, life, and death takes no vacation. And we all going to taste it. I don't care who you are, how much money you got, how well known you are. Birth, life, and death does not care. That's evidence-based. It's not what I think. It's not what I believe. It's what I know. It's evidence-based. So when a person is working through trauma, it takes time. And once again, we all got a different level of deep. My deep might not be your deep. His deep might not be her deep. So you have to take a person where he or she may be in life without judging that person. So many people want to judge, well, you should have been over it by now. This happened to me. I heard John Doe got over it by now, and I heard Sadie Doe got through it this quick. That is so condescending and very dismissive. Respect a person's trauma, ladies and gentlemen, because you don't know what that person has been through and are going through at this time. And life teaches me not only you don't know that, you don't know what a person will go through in the future. It's not negative, it's real. We all taste trauma in this universe, whether you own it or not. We all are going to taste trauma of some kind. So respect the person working through trauma. It's something they got to go through. You can't get around it. You can't get under it. You can't hide behind it. You got to go through it. That takes time. So if you're listening to this message, you're going through trauma, have been through trauma, take your time. You're not late. Don't feel ashamed and guilty about anything. You had the experience, nobody else did. And even if somebody had an experience similar to yours, we all got a different DNA. We deal with things differently. That's totally okay. Don't rush yourself and don't allow anybody to rush you. Don't allow anybody to discount your feelings. Real talk. And once again, I need to say this again. I'm talking about 46 years of working with real people. Sitting, looking at a person's eyes. Looking in their eyes. So I know how trauma can be on people. Protect yourself to the best of your ability, ladies and gentlemen. Protect yourself. You're a spiritual being having a very, very brief human experience. Whatever you're going through, take the time with it. And don't allow anybody to make you feel unworthy. I need to say this again. Don't you allow anybody to make you feel unworthy. There are a lot of platforms out here. And some of these people are talking loud and saying nothing. And they're hurting people. I'm about empowering minds and teaching change to spiritual beings having a very, very brief human experience. Trauma is real. Trauma takes time to recover. Don't rush yourself. Please, ma'am. And please, sir. Thank you.